สวัสดีค่ะ
โอเคเก่งมากครับ
เอาใหม่เลยนะสวัสดีค่ะยินดีอันนี้พี่นะจะจำไม่ได้สวัสดีค่ะยินดีต้อนรับทุกท่านเข้าสู่งานสัมมนาออนไลน์ซึ่งในครั้งนี้เป็นการร่วมมือกันระหว่างบริษัท 2+Soft กับ Oracle Construction Engineering Global Business Unit นะคะหรือว่าเราอาจจะเรียกกันสั้นๆว่า CEGBU นะคะโดยลำดับเนื้อหาที่เราจะพูดคุยกันในวันนี้จะเริ่มต้นด้วยมิสเตอร์อเล็กซ์แทนซึ่งเป็น Senior Area Sales Manager อาเซียนนะคะอเล็กซ์จะมาพูดถึงแนวโน้มของธุรกิจอสังหาริมทรัพย์ของทั้งโลกนะคะแล้วก็ปัญหาที่จะเผชิญและแนวทางที่จัดการที่ดีที่สุดในการบริหารจัดการโครงการนะคะตามด้วยมิสเตอร์สชินคาทาเลียซึ่งเป็น Sales Consulting Manager CEGBU นะคะคือสชินจะมาแชร์ให้เราฟังถึงการใช้ Primavera Enterprise Project Portfolio Management กับ Aconex ที่เป็น Cloud Solution ซึ่งจะมาช่วยเราเพิ่มประสิทธิภาพในการทำงานในทุกๆขั้นตอนของโปรเจกต์ได้อย่างไรนะคะจากนั้นเราก็จะมีการถามตอบคำถามที่ผู้ชมได้แชทเข้ามาหรือว่าโฟนอินเข้ามานะคะปิดท้ายเราก็จะมีการร่วมกิจกรรม เพื่อชิงรางวัล iPad เวอร์ชันใหม่กติกาเนี่ยทีมงานได้แจ้งไปล่วงหน้าก่อนนั้นแล้วนะคะส่วนผลประกาศเราจะประกาศผ่าน Facebook ของบริษัท 2 Plus Soft ในวันพรุ่งนี้นะคะก่อนที่จะไปที่คุณอเล็กซ์ดิฉันก็อยากจะเกริ่นนำนิดนึงเผื่อว่าจะมีผู้ชมบางท่านอาจจะฟังไม่ทันหรือว่าอ่านซับไตเติลไม่ทันนะคะเนื่องจากว่ามันจะมีการคาดการณ์ทั่วโลกว่าประชากรที่จะเข้ามาอาศัยอยู่ในเมืองเนี่ยจะมีเพิ่มขึ้นเรื่อยๆจากปัจจุบันนี่คือ 55%แต่มันจะเพิ่มขึ้นเป็น 68% ในอีกปี 2050 หรืออีก 29 ปีข้างหน้านะคะซึ่งอันนี้จะส่งผลให้โครงการที่เป็นอสังหาริมทรัพย์เนี่ยจะมีปริมาณเพิ่มขึ้นอย่างต่อเนื่องและมันก็ทำให้ธุรกิจการก่อสร้างเนี่ยมีผลกระทบที่จะต้องปรับตัวด้วยเหมือนกันคือการก่อสร้างแบบเดิมๆที่ใช้แบบแมนนวลก็จะใช้ไม่ได้นะคะและก็จะถูกบีบจากปัจจัยหลายๆอย่างเป็นต้นว่าคือหนึ่งจะต้องถูกบีบให้มีการพัฒนาโครงการให้ตอบโจทย์ให้ได้ทั้ง3มิติก็คือมิติของความยั่งยืนทางเศรษฐกิจทางสังคมและสิ่งแวดล้อมเป็นต้นดังนั้นการออกแบบพัฒนาโครงการอสังหาริมทรัพย์แบบเดิมๆก็จะต้องมีการปรับตัวอย่างมากเนื่องจากการออกแบบอย่างเดิมเนี่ยเราใช้เป็นแมนนวลเป็นการใช้คนมากมีต้นทุนสูงมีความล่าช้าขาดประสิทธิภาพจำเป็นอย่างยิ่งที่จะต้องเปลี่ยนแปลงการทำงานแบบเดิมให้เป็นดิจิทัลมากขึ้นหรือเราได้ยินกันที่พูดว่าเป็นดิจิทัลทรานส์ฟอร์เมชันนะคะซึ่งการเป็นดิจิทัลมันก็จะต้องเริ่มจากการออกแบบด้วย3มิติอย่างนี้เป็นต้น2มันก็จะมีมาตรฐานการทำงานที่ถูกฟอร์สให้ทำนะคะมาตรฐานการทำงานร่วมมือกันระหว่างโครงการเนี่ยซึ่งเราก็มักจะพูดถึงการบริหารแบบก่อสร้างการบริหารเอกสารก่อสร้างหรือเป็น document management นะคะซึ่งในปัจจุบันตัว document management เนี่ยมันก็จะกลายเป็นแค่ subset หนึ่งของเทคโนโลยีใหม่ในการบริหารก่อสร้างหรือที่เราเรียกว่ามันเป็น IPD คือ Integrated Project Delivery นะคะซึ่งเทคโนโลยี IPD เนี่ยมันจะก่อให้เกิดการก่อสร้างแบบ Lean Construction และ Lean Construction มันคืออะไรมันก็คือการก่อสร้างแบบที่เราตัดความฟุ่มเฟือยออกไปหรือขจัดสิ่งที่มันเป็นไขมันออกไปให้หมดให้เหลือเฉพาะเนื้องานจริงๆที่ต้องทำเท่านั้นนะคะอีกอันนึงก็คือมันจะต้องมีการจัดเก็บข้อมูลที่เป็นแหล่งเดียวหรือว่าเราเรียกว่าเป็น single source of truth นะคะซึ่งเทคโนโลยีเนี้ยซึ่งการจัดเก็บแบบนี้มันจะทำให้ทุกคนที่อยู่ในโครงการได้ข้อมูลที่เป็นปัจจุบันเสมอสามารถทำงานได้ทุกที่สามารถดูเอกสารได้ทุกรูปแบบในโครงการโดยสามารถผ่าน PC หรือโมบายอย่างนี้เป็นต้นนะคะซึ่งOracle Aconex เนี่ยก็ถือว่าเป็นเทคโนโลยี IPD ชั้นนำที่ได้รับการยอมรับกันทั่วโลกเป็นการทำงานแบบ Cloud Platform 100% นะคะรายละเอียดคุณอเล็กซ์จะมาแชร์ให้เราฟัง Good afternoon, Alex.
Hi everyone, good day, and it's great pleasure to meet you all today. I'm Alex Tan from Oracle and Construction Business Units. Thank you for joining us, and I would like to share with you how Oracle Solutions help many project owners, project consultants, main contractors, and subcontractors to navigate the futures of residential and commercial projects. Today, 55% of the world's populations live in an urban areas, as we know, a proportion that is expected to increase to at least 68% by 2015, and how the construction markets or technologies going to deal with that. So here are the key primary objective of a residential commercial constructions objective. Firstly, social sustainability. Secondly, environmental sustainability. And thirdly, economic sustainability, which will lead to a truly transformed residential and commercial constructions. Here are some of the key drivers for residential and commercial constructions transformations. This is to ensure social, economy, and environmental sustainability of a city's district, province, or an areas that you build. Number one, to stimulate the economic growth by improve economic and social infrastructures to boost the commerce, to stimulate the supply chains for constructions and economic stimulus for job creations over the areas. Number two, to improve construction's productivities. Construction productivities has been flat compared to a manufacturing and achieve more with the same resources year by year. Number third, to deliver value money infrastructures, to improve construction supply chains efficiency and aggregate materials demand. Number four, to improve quality of infrastructures delivered is by improve the design specifications to meet end user requirements and deliver assets to a specifications. Number five, to reduce whole life cycle cost of access. Of course, by reducing the acquisition cost, by reducing the OMM cost, and reduce refurbishment costs as well. And finally, to drive digital transformations in a built environment. Digital transformations is the key to improvements in the construction's productivities and encourage innovation in construction sectors to improve the overall productivities. The residential construction and commercial construction transformations process result in a large portfolio of projects and initiatives to manage over long periods. Cities, project owners, consultants, main contractors, subcontractors turn to technologies as an enabler for residential and commercial constructions transformations. Therefore, you need a holistic planning approach across the project's team. So, how to implement a project portfolio management with best practices? So here are several numbers of the current situations, especially when we deal with the projects. As we know, project teams consist of multiple and expensive legacy system existed, right? Project owners will have their own system. Project consultant might have their others system as well. The general contractor, the subcontractors, will have their own systems. All right. And this will actually disconnect the silos of the processes and data across. And lack of standard methodology across project participants will result in a bad situations. No single repository and no single sort of truth across portfolios, programs, projects, and contracts. This will lead to lack of visibility to support decision and mandates in reporting as well. So, to implement project portfolio management in a best practice way is to have a consistent implementation repeatable project portfolio management process and platform across all project team members. Right. This help CT project owners, consultants, main contractors to manage a wide range of portfolio programs and projects across the project teams and cross-cutting projects and program may reside in a different portfolio but contribute to the same outcome and should be managed as such. So a project portfolio management practices must achieve efficient information handover and archiving, must implement information management standards, must ensure information security, must support information coding and classifications, must use interoperable information exchange formats, ensure information access to all these stakeholders, and lastly, must provide timely, accurate information. To enable the owner or general contractors to manage a fragmented projects and facility management supply chains with a single platform. These fragmentations cause coordination, communications, and information management challenges due to many disparate or legacy information management systems used across the departments. And to enable a transparent project cost and contract management, firstly, ensure consistent application of the contract terms and conditions. Second, handle high volumes of contractual correspondence. Third, facilitate transparent projects and contracts and change management. And fourth, or finally, promote timely payment to subcontractors and suppliers. And leveraging 3D model coordination and federation in a common data environment, what we call CDE. The use of Oracle Aconex common data environments for 3D BIM model coordination and federations, combine structures and unstructured data in a CDE, whether it be 3D BIM models, 2D drawings, or any other documents and communications. And enable project teams wide collaborations on design and not just the design member. Number 4, interchange IFC models or use native integrations to Revit, to Navisworks, and 3D other 3D software as well. And finally, hand over the federated information models to operation and maintenance phases. So what's the anticipated benefits that you follow to implement project portfolio management? Information integrity, you have central cloud-based deployments, information and user security is well secure with Oracle, information traceability, audit trail of a project information is there. You can access in real time and you have a single version of the truth. Scenario analysis, easy to use scenario analysis to evaluate any proposed additions or changes to the proposed project portfolio. So investor confidence, build investor and funding agents' confidence in the project portfolio management process and platforms. And finally, portfolio reporting, produce reports, dashboards, and graphical representations of a project's portfolio, capital planning, and funding and traceability as well. So who will benefit from the solutions? So you have, project owner as an appointing party. You have general contractors as a project delivery team or lead appointed party, like construction management, consultants. So through the funding agency as well, you have good governance, project assurance, reduce corruptions and collusions, and funding traceability as well. And for the owner, you have regulatory reporting, project assurance that your projects are good, are intact, and all the information are captured, and full of audit trail, good contracts management for long-term PPP projects, for example, and value for money assets. For the joint venture or private sectors, you have pipelines of bankable projects, tariff protections to protect your ROIs, good system and protocol to be followed, and open procurement processes. So here are some of the applicable project reference that we would like to share with you. For example, Metrolink Speeds projects reports reveal 80% time saving of utilizing Oracle Aconex, 20% faster turnaround time for shop drawings review, automatic tracking and accessibility of workflow save Canadian dollar 45,500 per year. All right, and you have 55% faster access by engineering to documents and drawings. And this is a Cordoba. Cordoba works with the largest and most complex infrastructure projects in California. And you see, Primavera Unifier's P6 help Cordoba deliver comprehensive construction management and extraordinary project outcome for Long Beach City College. Shimizu, Jakarta MRT reduced paperwork by 66%. All right. And Sinopec Engineering Corporations cut data processing time by 40%. Sinopec Engineering Corporations, a leading engineering firm, offer PMC and EPC in refinery, petrochemical, coal liquefations, and coal chemical gas processing, environment process protections, utilities, and infrastructures. And they have implemented unifiers and Primavera P6 across 100 projects globally. All right, and here's all the statements that they made: 66% faster to generate monthly cost reports, 90% faster to develop monthly data projects reports, 40% less time spent on data processing, from 5 days to just 3 days. Vesta, a property owners, developers, and property manager, saw the full opportunity to transform their business by implementing a full Oracle technology suite. And they have achieved it. 4 times faster lease turnaround, through Unifier or CRM integrations. 25% better space utilizations, 78% saving of report, and etc. John Holland used Aconex for all its construction projects and engineering projects in Australia, New Zealand, and South Asia. And you can imagine the impact of Oracle Aconex, increase their uptimes and minimize support times and costs in adoptions of a single truth of the platform. Richard Crook's construction as well drive digital transformation with BIM, and they find Aconex have reduced 5% of their numbers of RFI returns. Operations have been reduced 3 to 5%. And Tyron's Padachi, a digital design manager, says Aconex BIM models always has the most current model uploaded at all time, so it is always the most current single source of the truth. Group Knox, has seen time saving of an average 2 days per approval cycle. All right. And Royal Atlantis Resort and Residential, select the Aconex, as the end-to-end EDMS systems. And Matake, one of the largest development companies in Qatar, need a platform to manage their complex mega projects. The solutions have managed all the information, facilitates the communication process, and provide a collaborative space for all project participants. And they have chosen Oracle Aconex. McCarthy Building Companies is community-based builders that aim to build the best builder in America. They have also trusted Oracle Primavera Clouds to help for their better planning, improve the ability to plan day-to-day tasks. Lastly, Sage Home Northwest integrate Oracle Primavera Clouds, with their accounting software to streamline their projects. Thank you. Please, join us. Let's just show you how to help you, though, in moving forward with the residential and commercial constructions technologies. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. Today I would like to share with you how Oracle Primavera Cloud and Aconex help with planning and collaboration of construction projects. And my name is Sachin Kataria. I'll share with you first Oracle Primavera Cloud, how it helps with the planning in the planning phase of the project. Oracle Primavera Cloud, also known as OPC, is a web-based application which provides you access to many modules like projects, portfolios, ideas. Today we will look at briefly around planning of the projects and how they contribute to portfolio planning. So the project I would like to share with you is called Sky City Tower 1. When an organization is planning around a project, there are certain key aspects of the project that they need to plan. One is a business case creation, like what and how that project contributes to an organization, to a business unit. So how does it align to the corporate strategies, and how do you evaluate a project in isolation as well as in totality when you're doing multiple projects? How do you compare against one another? Another key aspect is the planning of the schedule and the financial planning. Let's look at each one of them one by one. Oracle Primavera Cloud provides you an ability to digitize all your strategies at a corporate level as well as at a business unit level. So you can define your strategies at any level you like, and when you define a project, you kind of digitize those to evaluate and assign a score to understand how this project is contributing to that corporate strategy. So the OPC provides you a framework which helps you quantify by scoring that alignment. So in this case, we have Sky City Tower contributing to two key corporate strategies, and can, depending on the percentage it is contributing that strategy, this alignment score is calculated. Similarly, to standardize the comparison and evaluation across the organization, OPC provides you a mechanism of having your key criterias defined in the system. For example, the key categories like corporate alignment, risk, and financial in this example. and each one of them have subcategories, and this kind of helps you to have a framework of scoring against these categories. So depending on what I kind of choose, the score actually is calculated dynamically. So in this case, for example, if does the Sky City Tower will help me improve my win rates or improve winning more projects. If I choose to, it reduces it, you would see that it goes into red and my overall score is uh, reduced as well. And if I put it to improve, and it goes into the green, and my overall score improves. So you can have this standardized mechanism of evaluating a particular project in isolation, and then let it contribute to a bigger picture. When I go to the portfolio section, I'll show you how this is all aligned at the corporate level. Uh, the other key aspects are defining your schedules. Of course, a basic schedule management requires, if you are a developer, if you're a developer organization, you are able to define your master schedule here. If you are a contractor, you're able to define a more detailed schedule. One important aspect of OPC is that it is out of the box integrated with P6, where you can bring in your updates from progress updates from P6 to OPC with a click of a button. You are able to define, most of your scheduled activities here, and there are different views provided. For example, the scan view, it's interactive. I can change the timelines and look at how it helps me from an overall perspective where the progress is, or just looking at just a grid view where I'm looking at only the data. And this view is very flexible. OPC across the board provides you ability of configuring your own views, where you can focus on a particular data set, and you can filter out that data. You can group the data the way you like it. In this example, I just want to look at the critical path view for my project, and I'm going to filter out the information and just focus on the activities which are on my critical path. I'm also, we understand that none of the schedules are, static. You do your planning, but as the ecosystem changes, your plan gets impacted, and you need to kind of adapt on the ongoing basis. So let's take an example that in a current scenario with a pandemic going on, which my original schedule had full-blown 24 by 7 construction going on, will get impacted now. And I want to understand what the impact is going to be. So LPC provides me an ability to create scenarios. So in this scenario, this is my original schedule, with my default calendars assigned to activities, which is 24 by 7 construction. But I am able to create a scenario with probably the same schedule, but with a reduced capacity. So you can see that I have my same schedule, but my calendar is assigned to certain activities is reduced construction timelines. So only 4 hours a day I'm doing my construction because of the constraints of any nature, for example. So now once I have my scenarios created, in the scenario comparison section, I am able to assess the impact that's going to have on my project. So if I am going into that, right now I'm just doing my planning. If I go into that mode of implementing pandemic schedule. I want to understand how it's going to impact my project. And here I can see that I have my current schedule, and here I have my scenario which I had created, which was called COVID impact scenario, and I want to compare both. And once I do that, I can compare the data, and I can see that in my feasibility WBS, I have a big impact on my finishing. I have, I can compare these with Gantt charts and look at how they are, comparing graphically, or I am able to also look at the data itself. And the third key aspect of the planning of project is financials. So OPC allows me to create my budgets, and these budgets I can define at a high level, which is like a lump sum, or at a very granular level with all the components in my budget defined and broken down into the detail level. Each of these items definitely can be associated with my cost breakdown structure, which I want to measure against my construction projects. And also further down I can group them, the kind of activities and kind of expenditure I have in a bigger cost categories, so that if I want to understand in this example, is it the fixed contract based, or my resources based, or labor or material. This is again very flexible, and I can configure as I like it. And each of the budget scenarios goes under through an approval process. In this case, it's approved, and there is a workflow behind it which I can configure to get an approval on this budget. And any changes, therefore, or any budget transfers also are controlled via a workflow. And all this gets contributed to my cash flow planning. So at the moment, I might have defined my budgets. Now I want to understand how much I'm gonna need, when I'm gonna need it. So I have this budget defined from my budget sheet, and now I can distribute that over the number of years using either the curve, or I can manually do that as well. And once I distribute it over the number of years, I now understand, okay, what is my requirements from a financial perspective look like. Now, this on a very high level, how we kind of do a planning on a project level. Now let's see how, if I'm a portfolio manager, now I put a hat of a portfolio manager, and I know I'm at a corporate level. I am looking at all my pipeline projects, and I've created a portfolio that has this Sky City Tower 1 projects contributing to this portfolio. Now I've created all these projects are contributing to my portfolio, and one of them is Sky City Tower 1. And I have now an understanding of what was planned by the project manager and how much is the requirements year over year of the budget. If I need to kind of communicate with the project manager, I have an ability to anytime to have this comment section or a discussion section where I can put in my comments and which will be kind of sent an alert in as a notification in the notification section. And any one of the team members who want to kind of subscribe to my forum can just come and like the comment, and any updation to that comment, they will be notified what is happening and what is discussion going on. So you can see I have few comments already in here. So Esteban, in this case, will get a notification, and he wants to reply. He can do so through the system itself. So the idea is all the communication that's happening around my projects, my portfolios, are in the system itself. And now when I'm doing my portfolio, now I'm doing it at a corporate level. I want an understanding of how this what is the best mix of the projects I should do in the constraints I have at a corporate level. So I have few tools to help me do that, to filter out and identify the best projects I can do. So one of them is what we call efficient frontier. Efficient frontier is basically a mechanism where you define a constraint. In this case, it's a planned budget, which you had at a corporate level or a BU level, depends on which level you're doing your portfolio planning on. And then you say that, okay, what do you want to maximize on? The idea is basically, what is the best value you want to get out of this portfolio. And once you click on optimize, you would be able to then, based on this criteria, it will identify the projects which should be done as the criteria is defined. And you can see last two projects are not contributing to the biggest evaluation score, so that's why they are not included in this portfolio mix. I will just cancel this, and there is another tool which is called Waterline View. Waterline View is again a similar kind of a tool which will help you identify the projects. In the Waterline View, what you're doing is basically you are defining what's the limitation. In this case, again, the proposed budget should be less than a certain criteria, and then it will help you rank the projects, and the ranking can depend on any of these aspects you define. In this case, you can rank by proposed budgets, and you can have two more criteria defined for the sub ranking. So once I have this defined, it will tell me, okay, what are the projects which by ranking should be included in this constraint you have defined. These are some of the tools which will help me kind of analyze my portfolio, help me define this portfolio. And once I am, you can see that this portfolio is called FY21, and it's in planning. Again, there is a workflow behind it. I can get approvals. Once it's approved, then it will be pushed to my projects as approved budgets. I can definitely get the project data by linking to the project, or I can also unlink the project and I can update the data here. That means they might have asked for a $2 million, but I can only give them $1.5 million, for example. So once I approve this data gets pushed back to the project side for them to accept and work on it. And I can have all my communications here to understand if that's going to fulfill their needs or not. I have some of the other tools like Published View and which will help me do the analysis on this portfolio. But before I do that, again, the same concept, nothing is static. Yeah, I might have this portfolio approved, but I want to do a what if analysis on my scenarios. So I can create different scenarios. For example, I have created this 2021 reduced capacity portfolio, and I can see, okay, I don't want all the projects to be included. I want Sky Tower must be forced in and included, and some of the others should be included, but not the rest. and I can create multiple portfolio views, what if analysis views, and I can go to my scenario comparison and look at, okay, what if I am going with just FY21 portfolio existing versus the reduced scenario versus the 2022. So I can have all my scenarios defined here, and I can do my impact analysis from here itself. But once I've done all this, my portfolio is approved. Now, on an ongoing basis, I have a portfolio analysis application to monitor my portfolio. So I have certain capabilities in there, like scorecard. A scorecard of portfolio is basically, a view where I can define my scorecards and see how my entire portfolio is performing against that key metrics which I have defined. So this key matrix is again depending on an organization, what they need to monitor. You are able to kind of define this, and on a regular basis, my portfolio, I can see how that key criteria is changing for me, and I can define my targets and see how my actuals and is doing against my targets, and what is the trend like for my key metrics. In this case, an example of ETC is my ETC kind of how it's trending. Similarly, I have investor map. Investor map is basically a quadrant analysis capability. It's a dynamic mapping capabilities where I can look at my projects in and do a quadrant analysis on that, by defining dynamically how they should be plotted. In this case, it's forecast and actuals, but I can change any of the x-axis versus y-axis, and change. For example, on the y-axis, I want to maybe look at the evaluation score. And I want to see how that was going to impact my different projects. And you can see that x-axis is evaluation score, and this is the forecast. So I don't think you want a forecast to change much, but you want highest evaluation score projects to be included. So the projects which are in this quadrant will be good candidates for you. So this is another tool provided for you to do active analysis on it. The third one is the prioritization matrix. And prioritization matrix is basically, again, the evaluation categories which we have defined in the project side. Here you are looking at all your projects, how they, how they are evaluating against those categories which were defined on the project side. And these categories are, of course, the ones which are, can be defined by the organization, which are important to them. And it provides you a traffic light system where you can see that, okay, a particular project, how it's, performing against my cost versus another one. So this, in a nutshell, is a very quick overview of OPC projects and portfolio section. Let's look at now, once this project is in delivery state, in construction state, how Aconex helps organization manage the collaboration aspect of the project. So right now, I'm an organization called Majestic. I work for an organization called Majestic, and I've logged in as James Wong. Like OPC, Aconex is also a cloud-based system. You just need a browser to access it. And each organization who has access to Aconex has their own document register, a place where they upload all the information, all the documents, and this place is private to them. this place is has access rights only to that particular organization. So what that means is we promote neutrality model where each organization has their own document register, own information added to the platform, which is controlled by them, accessed by them, and it's not accessible to any other organization unless they share some information with another organization. Nobody can delete any of the records as well. So in the document register, basically, you can upload any type of documents with any type of metadata. The way the documents are stored is there is a metadata connected to each of the document, which actually helps you search the documents in the document register. So if I want to look at all my, say, shop drawings, and those shop drawings which are maybe architecture related, and I can do my search and I am able to look at all my shop drawings which are architecture related. And also because this of show document history checkbox enabled, I can look at all the revisions which were done for a particular document. I can go into the document and open and look at it, or I can actually send it, transmit it to a different organization. I can create a transmittal. I can send this document to another organization if I want to. So, for example, I can look at people. Okay, AL, starting with AL. Let's look at, okay, I want to sell to Vizia Rosia organization. I may want to just put a subject, FYI, and I just all I need to do is send it. Okay, there is definitely something I missed, which is the reason for the issue. It's issued for approval, and that's it. And once I've done that, this will be sent to another organization, and it will keep the complete audit trail of who sent it, what is sent for. I have an ability to kind of route that document through the workflow as well. So I just need to click it and I can transmit it through I can start a workflow which I have defined. It can be within my organization and it can be cross-organization workflows. Another key aspect is I can upload any type of documents, including my models. And with our model collaboration coordination ability, I am able to bring all my consultants who are working on the design to collaborate with each other and raise issues through the system itself. They can upload the models in the system and federate those models. For example, I might have 5 different organizations who are working on different aspects of the model. In this case, architectural, electrical, lighting, mechanical. So, and they all, since they are doing it in isolation, they can upload the models in Aconex, and those models can be federated through the system itself automatically. So you can load model one by one. You can inspect the model here. So I have a model, now I can bring in, say, mechanical on top of it. I can definitely, sorry about that. So I can zoom in, I can look into that model. I am able to do some measurements. maybe I want to see that what is the distance of clearance for that to that. And if they are finding any issues with the model, they are able to create a viewpoint for by taking out a particular section from the model and create a viewpoint. For example, I have this viewpoint called level 23 floor plan. So I have just taken out level 23 and created a viewpoint out of it. And this viewpoint, I can look at just that aspect or just that section, and I can kind of say that, okay, let me just measure this distance from this to this. It's 9.60 meters. Maybe that's not what we had discussed. Now I want to add an issue. I can create an issue, and that will take a snapshot of the viewpoint, and then that will, I can create an issue with that snapshot, and I can do a markup of that snapshot as well. So I can say this is a clash. The length is incorrect. I can assign to Hings. I can put a due date or priority, and I can save it. Once I do that, I can assign, I can look at all my issues in my issues section. I can assign those issues to different organization. I can see that this is the one I just created, assigned to Hings, and it will create my viewpoint and model with automatically, and the other organization will have access to the same as well. And as they go on, they will be able to progress on and update that issue from the system itself. Again, there are different modules. For example, a mail module which helps you automate all your delivery processes. For example, you can have RFIs, you can have transmittals. You can look at different types of information, and you can agree upon with different organizations what will be the mechanism of RFI routing, and the system will take care of all the audit trail. So in this example, it's an RFI which was created, and you can look at what all it has gone through so far, and all the updates which have been made by different organizations. So it keeps track of all. And going back to the issues and the progress which have been done, including the inspection which is from the field, is all updated in what we call process dashboards. This process dashboard is available organization per organization. So if for the Majestic organization, I can look at for my project how am I performing on different aspects of the processes or the inspection. In this case, I can look at, okay, what are my defects? Which organization by area is working on which defects, and how many are open, how many are closed, and which are running late. So I can drill down into the information and look at those particular data and documents in the register itself. So this, in a nutshell, was a very quick overview of OPC and Aconex. We will be happy to kind of answer the questions, as well as if this is something which interests you, we'll like to have a follow-up session with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sachin. and Alex มีคำถามไหมคะมีคำถามอะไรไหมคะท่านสามารถที่จะเปิดไมโครโฟนแล้วก็ถามเข้ามาได้เลยนะคะ
จะมีคำถามเรื่องความสัมพันธ์ระหว่าง Aconex Primavera แล้วก็ Unifier ครับไม่ทราบว่ามันเป็นซอฟต์แวร์ในชุดเดียวกันแล้วเกี่ยวข้องกันยังไงครับ
โอเคมันคนละซอฟต์แวร์มันจะเป็นคนละชุดแต่ว่ามันสามารถที่จะอินทิเกรตกันได้ทั้ง3ระบบเลยค่ะคือ Primavera ก็จะเน้นในเรื่องของ scheduling tool Aconex ก็จะเน้นในเรื่องของ collaboration พวก job cost พวก cost control นะคะ Unify ก็จะคล้ายๆกับ Aconex แต่ว่าจะมีworkflow ที่ลึกกว่าซับซ้อนกว่าแล้วก็มีการ integration ที่ลึกกว่านะคะคือเป็นระดับเดียวกับ ERP ที่เราใช้กันนะคะมีคำถามอะไรอีกไหมคะ Alex, Sachin, did you have any recommendations or any words to our clients? อ๋อมีคำถามมาว่า Primavera มีข้อแตกต่างจาก Microsoft Project อย่างไรบ้างโอ้วันนี้ตอบเป็นลิสต์เลย
อ๋อครับ
คุณนาทีตอบได้ไหมคะ
จริงๆค่อนข้างจะเยอะนะครับตัว Primavera ต่างจาก Microsoft Project นะครับส่วนแรกเนี่ยส่วนใหญ่ก็จะเป็นเรื่องของการใช้งานในเรื่องของ multiple project กับ multiple user นะครับซึ่ง Primavera เนี่ยจะรองรับในเรื่องของการบริหารโครงการเนี่ยหลายๆโครงการในเวลาเดียวกันแล้วก็สามารถมีการกำหนดสิทธิ์การใช้งานของ user แต่ละคนนะครับในการเข้าถึงข้อมูลซึ่งเราสามารถนำโครงสร้างต่างๆของ Primavera เนี่ยมากำหนดสิทธิ์การใช้งานของแต่ละคนได้เลยนะฮะแล้วก็จุดเด่นของ Primavera ส่วนใหญ่ก็จะเป็นเรื่องการทำ layout กับการทำ report ซึ่งแตกต่างจาก Microsoft Project นะฮะในเรื่องของการดีไซน์สถาปัตย์ของการ input ข้อมูลนะฮะ Primavera เนี่ยเขาจะอ้างอิงกับพวก activity ID กับactivity code ซึ่งถ้าเรารู้จักโครงสร้างของ2ตัวเนี้ยเราสามารถนำไปใช้ประโยชน์ในอนาคตเนี่ยมากมายอย่างเช่น activity ID ผมเอาไว้ลิงก์กับซอฟต์แวร์พวก BIM เพื่อทำ simulation พวก activity code ผมสามารถสร้างมุมมองเนี่ยที่หลากหลายนะครับเพื่อการสร้างรีพอร์ตที่เพิ่มเติมที่เป็น unlimit นะฮะหลักการคร่าวๆก็จะเป็นแตกต่างแบบนี้ครับมีคำถามเพิ่มเติมไหมครับ
Hi, Sachin. One of the participant was asking what's the kind of advantage and disadvantage over Primavera over the Microsoft project. Am I right, Kunada? Yeah. So what can you add in on that, Sachin?
Yeah, sure, Alex. Actually, we typically don't try to compare the products, but the one very key difference between the two is that Primavera OPC is an enterprise-wide solution. We have designed it to work with an organization at an enterprise level, not just used by schedulers anymore. It is used by schedulers, project managers, VPs, executives. It is a very integrated solution. So it's not only looking at just your schedule, it's looking at your business case creation, your lean management, your risk management, your portfolio management, and there is ideation there, there's a workflow built in. All this bringing together and then have an ability to communicate with your back-end financial systems. So it is, if you think from just a scheduler perspective, you will see that they are similar. But if you look at a little bit bigger picture, you will see they are not same or not comparable at all.
Sachin, can you more describe about the differentiate about Primavera P6, Aconex, and Unify Project Control? This is a question from PGTGC.
Okay, P6 is basically it's helping you manage your schedule, risk, and resource at a a more complex project level. And again, P6 can be implemented both just on the project as well as the enterprise as an organization level. Aconex, on the other hand, is a collaboration platform mostly designed on a project level, where you are not just looking at your organization only, you are looking at hundreds of organizations helping you deliver the project. The contractors, the subcontractors, the consultants, all those. And Aconex becomes the single platform where all the information gets exchanged. If you are an organization which is like a very, which has processes defined for you for ages, and you can't use out of the box SaaS platform because you have some compliance processes, you have processes developed over 20 or 30 years, and you want the solution to match those processes and automate those processes, then Unifier is the solution to do that. And Unifier brings in the flexibility of configuring the solution to organization needs from cost perspective, from delivery process management perspective. Again, it's an enterprise-wide, not a project-wide solution.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the information. มีคำถามอื่นอีกไหมคะ เราจะรอคำถามอีก5 นาที แล้วเราก็จะปิดการสัมมนานะคะ
So, Jirapon, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can
Yes.
I participate in that lucky draw iPad? How to win
Yes,
it?
of course you can.
No, just joking. Thank you. And I just want to add that if they don't want to ask question now, but if they find something interesting and want to get into details, we'll be happy to do a one-to-one session with them and show them the more details of any of the product they're interested in.
Yes, it is a question. Primavera สามารถทำ S curve เพื่อดูผลดำเนินการภาพรวมโครงการดีกว่า Microsoft Project ไหมครับ
ครับถ้าผมก็ต้องตอบว่าดีกว่าครับเพราะว่าการลงข้อมูลของโปรแกรม Primavera เนี่ยผมสามารถพล็อต S curve เนี่ยที่เป็นตัวเงินในหลายๆรูปแบบนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นพวก labor non labor material แล้วก็ expense นะครับต่างๆเนี่ย S curve เนี่ยผมสามารถนำ activity code ที่ผมเคยพูดไปเนี่ยหรือว่าโค้ดต่างๆของ Primavera เนี่ยพวก resource code เนี่ยมาทำรีพอร์ตของตัว S curve เพิ่มเติมที่ต่างจาก Microsoft Project แล้วก็ผมสามารถexport data ต่างๆเนี่ยไปทำงานต่อที่โปรแกรมอื่นก็ได้ครับผมขอตอบเท่านี้นะครับ
อีก2 นาทีถ้าไม่มีคำถามนะคะแต่ว่าเราก็ยังสามารถที่จะเดโมเป็นวัน by วันได้นะคะซึ่งทีมงาน Oracle แล้วก็ Microsoft ก็ยินดีที่จะแชร์ข้อมูลให้ทุกท่านนะคะวิดีโอวันนี้ก็จะถูกบันทึกเอาไว้บน YouTube ซึ่งถ้าท่านมีคำถามก็สามารถที่จะไปถามบนนั้นได้นะคะแล้วเราก็จะเข้าไปตอบให้นะคะถ้าไม่มีอะไรมากกว่านี้แล้วเราก็จะขอปิดงานสัมมนาในครั้งนี้นะคะทีมงาน Oracle ทีมงาน Microsoft ต้องกราบขอบพระคุณทุกท่านที่สละเวลาเข้ามาร่วมงานสัมมนาในวันนี้นะคะจะผิดพลาดอะไรก็แล้วแต่ครั้งหน้าเราจะพัฒนาให้ดีขึ้นนะคะขอบพระคุณมากนะคะสวัสดีค่ะ